Johnny goes first, Toe for second, Amy and Samey third, Scarlett on tyres, Max on the wheelbarrow. I'll take the wall. Go! Go! Hop to it like kangaroos!
Yeah, bet none of you saw this one coming. Okay, this is the big one. Honestly, for the past few weeks, I was thinking about doing a Jasmine video in the first place, but didn't have much of a base to work off of. So I just put it in the back of my mind and did the Chris and Chef video in the meantime. But then I saw Ricky's announcement post of an upcoming video of who he considers underrated, and that got me thinking again. And by that I mean I was ranting with myself at the middle of the night, but that's just how I usually come up with my videos. I asked Ricky if he thought this video was okay to do, he gave me the thumbs up, and here we are. Yes, who I deem one of, if not the most underrated character in the whole series is Jasmine. Don't worry, I will explain. This might be a bit longer than my other videos, but please watch and listen through all of it. I shouldn't have to say that, but I know some skip around in these videos for whatever reason. Now, usually I try and keep a calm demeanor when doing these, but for this one I might be a little bit unhinged, you could say, because I'm going to be taking some shots at a few people here and there, but I hope you all take it in good spirit, and I can tell you that it does have a significance to the overall message of the video. We're going to be doing this step by step too, so buckle up, because it's going to be a ride. Let's go. Alright, first things first though, we need to do a reevaluation of this word here. Underrated. Let's just do a quick check, okay?
Having more importance, value, skill, power, etc. than people recognize.
Now, I've seen it all when it comes to this fandom and community, and they do some pretty cool stuff and sometimes know how to have a proper discussion. But I'm not gonna lie, guys, a good portion of you, not all of you, use this word incorrectly. Hear me out, please. Let's be real here. This is what I see all the time, just for an example. Don is underrated. Now, that doesn't make any sense, and you might think, why is that a problem? Well, I can tell you that when not just one or two, maybe even three, but when dozens upon dozens of people think the same thing is underrated and all agree that said thing is underrated with no real different opinions, then it might not be so underrated. It's no damn secret that this character is popular. Everyone likes her, at least majority. So how are Dawn, Tyler, B, and so on underrated when everyone says they're underrated? Underrated would mean that no one talks about you, but you all talk about the same ones that are underrated. So when I hear a bunch of people say or tell me that Ezekiel's underrated, what I'm basically hearing is this character didn't get further in the series or didn't do anything big that I would have liked to see, and now I'm upset. Which, honestly, it's fine to be upset because they're probably your favorite character for one reason or another. Where the problem lies, though, is slapping the label underrated on said character and thinking that makes sense. Just because a character only has 4 episodes compared to another that has 24 doesn't automatically mean they're underrated. That's like saying 5 is less than 10, so 5 is the bigger and better number. No, that's just not how that works. So how does it work? Or who would be properly underrated? Well, weird enough, Chef. Yeah, just for an example, and I'm being serious. I know I did say that I didn't really need to do the video on him because he's well known, but he does do some things that I don't think get brought up as much, and people did point them out. He's the co-host. He doesn't take shit from people. Part of some of the best episodes when he's the focus of. And another thing someone pointed out I wish I had mentioned in my video is that he knows the camper's strengths and actually pushes them to their limit and commends them when they pull through. That's pretty cool. Again, it's not like he's non-existent, but not many bring him up. Might be from the fact that he's not a contestant, so you're not really rooting for him to win anything, but he's still good. Great even. But for other characters, it pretty much goes like this. Harold, not underrated. He's consistently praised for all the moments and plot twists that he has throughout Island and Action, and just because he got out in World Tour early doesn't mean he's underrated. It means he got screwed over. There's a difference. Tyler, just because he wasn't in more episodes to get hurt more doesn't mean he's underrated. There's just not much you can do with him. And as much as I love her, Dawn, if anything, she's overrated. She really doesn't do anything big within the 4 to 6 episodes she's in, and everyone still loves her. Not underrated. The difference is that she was wasted potential. Now, all of them are fine. I like them. I like Harold. I like Tyler. I love Dawn. They're all fine. But again, saying that they're underrated over and over and constantly praising them doesn't really seem like they're not talked about when you're always talking about them. Now, let's get another thing straight here once more. I don't hate any of these characters that I'm using as examples, maybe. I like them, they're fine. But I would be lying saying that it doesn't get a little bit annoying getting asked the same thing over and over. The fans are a rabbit bunch for sure. Now, finally, after that English lesson, how does this still all connect to Jasmine? Let's get into that. I've already made a bold claim by the title, and from what I've said about Jasmine being ultimately underrated. Why though? A question some of you might have is, what makes her so great? Well, let me start off with this. Pakute.
Oh man. Oh God. Oh man. Oh God. Oh man. Oh God. Oh man. Oh God. Oh man. Oh God.
I guarantee you that me just saying that probably put up some red flags in your mind. Do not cross line, or no. We don't talk about Pakute. Pakute just, it has so much wrong with it. Majority say that it's one of, if not the worst season. Nearly everything that happens in it isn't as exciting as the first generation or even second. Contestants aren't really fighting for $1 million or making alliances or trying to play the game really. It just comes off of just teenagers doing dumb challenges while a psycho man gets a hard-on from people being in pain. The season is short and boring, the ending is anticlimactic and plain, and it doesn't help that you think that this would be a redemption season in some sort of way after coming off the mess that is All Stars, which is also considered a terrible season. But no, this doesn't help, unfortunately. And to top it all off, like, this is technically the last island type season, and we had to end it here. And the absolute worst of it all, the contestants and characters happen to be some of the worst ones in the series and are universally hated. Beardo, Leonard, Amy, Dave, and those are just the ones that most agree that are in fact terrible, and the rest are still a mixed bag. Pakute just has nothing going for it. So when anyone were to bring up Pakute to you, you would immediately think, no, it's bad, it's terrible, the worst, there's nothing good in it, so on and so on. Pakute has nothing interesting about it, is what I would say if there wasn't one element in one character that made watching it tolerable by some degree. That being the Outback Australian girl herself, Jasmine.
I think that's about all you need to know about where I'm from. Oh, and this is my cat Whiskers. She's pretty playful.
And now we finally get to the point of the video. You see, Jasmine unfortunately had to be part of Pakute, and from all of the reasons I went by, you think that she would be awful like the rest of the cast, but she's not. Even from my first time watching the season, Jasmine was already my favorite out of everyone in this cast, and that opinion still stands to this day. Everything about her is unique and entertaining compared to pretty much everyone else in this cast. First of all, she's an amazing leader who easily guided her team to victory many times just by having a get things done now type attitude. She can either do it with or without a team, which is a lot more credible to her talents and skill. She's able to do that while the other team is fumbling over themselves most of the time. And just because she can be strict doesn't mean she doesn't care about her team, because Amy over here is just downright abusing her sister Sammy in every possible way. And we all know how you people want to protect your precious Sammy. Well, Jasmine is literally doing that, because she was really the only person to defend Sammy no matter what and become actual friends with her and was genuinely caring for her. She even admit at having a hard time making friends, so she understands how Sammy feels. Not only that, she can knock down a tree with just one punch.
So yeah, I guess we're friends. And I have trouble making friends too. I don't know why, but people find me a bit intimidating.
Strong, compassionate, great leadership skills. I can even take it a step further by complimenting her aesthetic and background, which I rarely do. She's of Amazon height and comes from Australia, which makes you wonder what's an Australian doing in Canada, whatever. She has one of the most standout designs, not just from this season alone, but in comparison of characters from the whole series. And another reason on why she's awesome is because she isn't just this Mary Sue that has no weaknesses, because she definitely has them. The biggest one of them is her claustrophobia, and we spend an entire episode exploring that and seeing her overcome that problem. This makes her more interesting as a character, because by that point she was pretty much unstoppable by some means, and then she literally gets thrown into her worst nightmare and has to fight through it, with Topher the battering ram included. And mind you, everything that I just said up to this point, this has nothing to do with Sean by this point, because she has a strong relationship with Sean, because when you take Sean into account, it makes things a lot better for her, because first of all, he's a lucky guy. More importantly, the relationship is also pretty overlooked. By the time of the finale, both of them would be happy together with or without the prize money. Sean's ending is solid because he gets the girl of his dreams and then the added $1,000,000. And in Sky's ending, they're both still happy. See, Dave? Take notes. You could have had both the money and or the girl, but you done goofed. By the end of all of this, Jasmine is pretty much the best character that came out of Pakuteu, seeing that no one really dislikes her as well, because she doesn't really do anything that warrants for such animosity. Now, of course, this doesn't mean this season is one of the best just from Jasmine alone. The problems I mentioned are still there, of course, and Jasmine isn't honestly one of the overall best character in the series, though I do firmly believe that where she was placed and what she does with her time does get overlooked severely.
Turn back! Gophers go for the face! I need my face!
We're not going back.
Did we win?
Seeing that from my chef video, not a single soul, not one of you guys, guessed Jasmine. Which, I mean, actually strengthens the point of the whole video. I even went back and looked at Ricky's announcement post, and merely a handful of comments from the 100 guessed Jasmine as well. You could probably imagine who people were rooting for as well, but we won't get into that because I've made my point clearly. After all of that, Jasmine is ultimately underrated. She's a badass leader that gets shit done without question, also cares for her teammates and even those around her. She has a standout and unique design that no one else really has, and is part of a strong relationship that doesn't get ruined by later seasons. And she didn't even need to be a winner or runner-up in the season to be awesome. She played her part perfectly overall. She had her time, she did it well, and that was that. There didn't need to be, oh, I sure wish she was a winner. That would have been nice, but she wasn't. And you know what? I think it's better that she wasn't actually, because she still strengthened Sean's ending instead. It's a lot better, if anything. And she does all of this in Pakuteu. Jasmine is really the only reason I go back and watch that season. And after everything I just said, everything, I'm constantly told that, yes, the dude in the red jumpsuit, whose main gimmick to always get hurt, and his relationship with his girlfriend that was treated as a literal joke, is underrated. I mean, okay, if that's what you want to think, go right ahead, but after all of that, everything that I've just presented, all the notes that I've gone through, the 4 pages of this script, I truly believe that Jasmine is the most underrated character in Total Drama. And if you want to discuss more about underappreciated characters, look forward to Ricky's list when that does come out. Or if it is out now, whenever you're watching this, go watch it still. Ricky's a cool dude. Isn't that right? Yeah, he's cool. And that's where I ended off here with this essay, I suppose. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Questions, comments, or concerns, you know what to do. This comment section is going to be real fun to read this time, I bet. You know what to do with all the links, of course. Thank you for watching. That's greatly appreciated, of course. Have a great day, have a great night, and everything else you know what to do. Bye.